Would you say I have a reasonable understanding of how to execute these various sex acts properly?
Yes.
How awesome is that? What you're doing is disgusting. Listen, lady.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is a lovely day here, and I have with me my good friend, Mr. Donovan Sharp.
What's up, brother?
Today. Good to see you, Donovan.
I'm good to see you too, man. I've been off the grid, kind of. I've been all over the place. I got back from Phoenix a couple of nights ago. I had a pretty legit medical scare. Just side note, a couple of days ago, I could not physically urinate. Couldn't do it. It had been getting worse and worse over the last few days. And I figured, okay, listen, I'm 43 years old. You know, obviously your prostate is, it's gonna grow because you're a little bit older. You're not producing the same things. And so it got worse and worse. And finally, it was like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time. I could not physically urinate. So 8 hours later, and I'm trying, 8 hours later, I go to the ER and I'm like, yo, I cannot physically urinate. So they took me to the back. They did the catheter. Now, listen, that's the first time it's ever happened to me. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was very uncomfortable because when they go down the initial shaft, it was a little uncomfortable, but nothing I couldn't handle. I had to freaking burst. Then when they get down toward the prostate, the catheter has to go under the prostate and into the bladder. So that was a little bit of discomfort. There was definitely a little bit of pain, but once they got the catheter into the bladder, dude, it was instant relief. They drained over a liter of urine out of my bladder, and it looked like iced tea.
Oh my God.
Dude, it was incredible. That's not what scared the hospital. What scared the hospital was that my blood pressure was at 199 over 125. That's like hypertension too. And so they're like, yo, we got to put you on saline. We got to put you on these meds. And so after they drained me, they put a couple of saline bags, had me drinking water pretty much all night. I finally was able to pee on my own. I've been able to pee on my own since then. I'm on blood pressure meds. I'm on all kinds of stuff to keep me from killing myself. But the point is that I got to start. Listen, I lift weights. When I was out in Phoenix, I was riding 20, 25 miles a day. But that doesn't mean that you can't have high blood. I'm not trying to make this a public service announcement, but even though I'm a healthy man and all this other kind of stuff, I mean, just the hours that I work, the all of the anxiety and the stress that comes with putting together the event, eventually I guess that got the better of me. So
sounds like it did, man. I'm glad you're doing it right now because you're in tip-top shape. For the conference.
We absolutely positively have to I got to take care of ourselves.
And I like this Facundo, just what I came here for, catheter stories.
Yes,
exactly.
There you go.
That's what we're all here for.
No kidney stones. Thank God. Jesus freaking Christ, man.
God, I remember the first time I got a because we get STI checks regularly, right? In our industry, obviously. In America, they just do, like, you just piss in a cup.
Yep.
But in Europe, they do the whole cotton swab down the urethra.
Oh, God, yeah.
Holy shit. I remember, never again. I remember getting that bad boy. Oh, damn. That is a very startling experience.
I remember the only time that I have, and this was very interesting. So this actually has to do with the worst heartbreak of my life. And there was this girl I was dating. Her name was Amy. I guess we'll just call her that. And so after I found out that she'd been cheating on me, before I left the state of North Carolina, I went and I got a complete like STD panel that also included the swab. It was the very first time I'd ever had the swab, dude. My junk, dude, it was sore for like a week, and I was like, yo, this is not. How often were you having to do it, man?
Luckily I only had to do that particular test once in Europe, but I found another clinic where I could do I piss in a cup.
Jesus. Oh, thank God, man. Oh,
much easier. Yeah, I don't recommend it to guys. Apparently that test is more thorough.
Yes. And listen, you want to be thorough when it comes to that stuff, but if you can get the same results pissing in a cup, I vote for the cup. Yeah. Dude, the cat, dude. And it was funny. I was in so much pain and discomfort. Now that I'm looking back, like that, the catheter it's like the size of my finger. And she somehow, and she made it look easy, went all the way in. And I'm like, oh, dude, it was the best, worst feeling ever. It was an experience I won't soon forget. So I got to take care of myself. I have to start working less. Yes. I got to get off the stimulants. I got to get off the caffeine. Lesson learned.
That'll do it, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit on the C4 a lot lately. You know, slamming a bit of caffeine, a bit of pre-workout a lot.
I'll have a half a cup of coffee, and after that, I can't do any more stimulants, man. And dude, I've lived on stimulants forever, but I'm 43 now. I'm not 23. I have to look for alternative ways.
You gotta take care of yourself, man.
Yes.
And look, and the reason why you're working so hard is because we have now I'm part of it as well. We have the Conference of Masculine Excellence coming up.
Yes.
Very excited for this. And you reached out to me back in I think it was December.
Yeah.
You've been planning this for a while.
Yes. Now. Yes, I have.
Tell people, maybe let everyone know like what this is all about, sort of how this came about. You know, what kind of inspired you to put this thing together?
Yeah, man. I had the idea probably right around this time last year. I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to do it. But you know, the more I thought about it, the better the idea became, you know. I had done a very good job in building and cultivating relationships with like-minded men like myself, you know, a lot of the other speakers. I've always been on good terms with most guys most of the time. Yes, we will have the occasional, you know, disagreement, but you know, in the end, you know, same team. That's the way I saw it. So then I started doing my one-on-one with Donovan Sharp series. I would fly guys out here to Philly. We'd go to Studio B. We would do the live stream. Then we'd go and break bread. And a lot of those pictures, all of these pictures actually behind me, there's Kevin Samuels, Hotep Jesus, you know, Minister Jap, all of those guys, you know, flew in. We did a podcast together. We broke bread. I think I was probably, I don't know why I did that. I think I knew that while it's great to see your favorite content creators on the same screen, to me, I think it has a profound effect when you see them in the same room at the same time. And so that's why I started the one-on-one with Donovan Sharp. So after season 1 of one-on-one with Donovan Sharp, I said, you know what? Maybe I do have the resources and the relationships to pull this off. So I flew out to Vegas on Thanksgiving week and weekend. And we stayed at a venue. We toured the venue, and 2 weeks later, we signed a contract with the venue to hold the CME. And it's been like that ever since. Now, initially, when I wanted to speak, when I was talking about just the idea of everything, initially I did it because I sort of wanted to regalvanize the community. I'm sure you're aware, and I've talked about this before, we're not really a united community anymore. There's a lot of infighting. I actually pointed this out a couple of years back. I mean, dude, I've been talking about this for now 2.5, 3 years. Our biggest detractors used to be feminists. Our biggest detractors used to be women. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, we'd put out a tweet, write an article, put out a video. It was bitches squawking, oh my God, we got to cancel these guys. Well, women don't have to come after us anymore because most of our detractors are men. And it's been that way for a while. And it started off really small, like a few guys coming after us, but now it is all the time. And so when I first came up with the original idea for the Conference of Masculine Excellence, I said, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to re-galvanize the community. I'm not going to chastise anyone who has beef with anyone else. Listen, handle that the way you want to handle that. I'm not going to confirm, nor did I'm not going to condone any of that, but I'm not going to chastise guys either.
Yeah.
And so we went out to Vegas. We shot our we shot all the promotional footage, and we put out, and between the time that we shot the promotional footage and the time we actually released it, of course, we're all well aware. I'm not going to mention any names. There's an all-out assault, all-out attack to try to demonize me and, you know, marginalize me and question my credibility and all this other kind of stuff. But again, those attacks, that, I mean, it's almost like they're fulfilling the prophecy. This is exactly what is wrong with our community, is that I've never understood the need to talk about another man in an unfavorable way. Yeah. The way, and don't get me wrong, I've dipped my toe in those waters too. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not guilty or that I haven't participated in that. I had a little a minor dust up with Turd Flinging Monkey a couple of years back. Even though I won that particular kerfuffle, I guess we'll call it, nobody really won, right? Okay, so I got the last word and this and that, but that didn't do anybody any good. Turd Flinging Monkey, dude, he is as big a contributor in this community as anyone has ever been. He knows more than I do in terms of the history of feminism and all that. So that in hindsight, that was very immature of me to do that. Then I had another dust up with a guy that I was working with, and I didn't really go at him. I simply did a response video explaining, listen, this is why he's being dishonest, and here are my receipts. After that, I decided, you know what? I'm doing the Kevin Samuels thing. I am not going to get into beefs with anybody. If anybody puts out anything about me, I'm not doing any response videos. That's just not what I'm doing. Instead, the way I answer these sort of things is I just continue to do what I'm doing. And so originally the intent of the CME was to galvanize this community, and that absolutely still is. But now it appears that there are additional objectives that come with the CME, and that is supplanting the original convention with this one, because the leader of the other original convention, he has shown that he's not interested in bringing men together. He is only interested in tearing men down, going after their families, talking about their girlfriends and things of that nature. Listen, if men want to get involved with that, that's fine. You can do whatever it is. You can do whatever it is you want to do. But in the end, I think that me making the announcement and the subsequent reaction shows exactly that what I've been talking about is 100% true and verifies why this conference is needed. Yeah.
And I see, I've only been, in adjacent to this space, if you will, like the manosphere, but what you want to call it. I've only kind of been in this sort of area for like the last year,
right?
Thanks to Roller Tomasi and that, and the All Zero crew, right? And so for me, this is all sort of old beef, old stuff,
sure.
Which is kind of why I don't really have a horse in the race, and no one has really kind of given me shit about
sure
who I interact with, so because I don't have the history that you guys have, right?
Right.
But looking as an outsider looking in, I'm like, and a few people have said this in the chat. It's feminine. It's a very feminine thing. All this bitching and trying to drag each other down and stuff. It's a very feminine vibe I see, and I'm like schoolgirls. And I'm like, we don't need this shit. Like this is totally defeating the purpose of what we're trying to do. Like shits are already hard enough for dudes.
Oh my god!
In 2021, like we don't need to be fucking with each other. And what I see is when guys kind of get into this red pill space, whatever you want to call it, right? When guys sort of start learning the truth about, male female dynamics, right?
Right.
One of two things happens, right? Either they galvanize themselves and they start putting in the work, or they try to go down the rabbit hole of being a little bit bitter, and they get into watching content which kind of shits on women a bit.
Yeah.
They froth over that.
Right.
They're like,
right.
Yes, give me more of this stuff. And it's like, well, look, it's entertaining, sure.
Yes, it is.
But it's like I always try to tell guys, be careful when you're engaging with that kind of content. Engage with it for the right reasons. Engage with it to sort of get understand the logic and rationale behind stuff. Engage with it to see how women think.
Yes.
but try not to engage with it from that sort of like petty like one-upmanship, I guess, over women, because that doesn't help you in the long run to be better with women in dating relationships.
Right. And it's the thing is this. What you just described is necessary. Every man who discovers this community goes through the what we call the anger phase, right?
Yeah.
So first you discover this content. Whoa, wait a minute. This stuff is actually allowed on the internet for now. Then the further you go down the rabbit hole, if you will, you start to get angry because now you're seeing that the world has lied to you. Your mother, your father, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, everyone and everything has given you faulty tools to navigate the dating market. And a lot of times, man, the guys who get the angriest are the guys who bear the biggest scars, guys who are on the hook for 18 years of child support for 3 children, 2 of which may or may not belong to him. And I think what we on this side have to understand is that most people, this is men or women, they're going to do what's easiest, right? What's easiest to do. And this doesn't attack their character one way or the other. This is just how human beings have evolved. We want to go the road more traveled, not the road less traveled. If we can figure out a way to accomplish something in an easier way, well, then that's the way we're going to do it. Where we diverge is that we have to understand that most men who consume this content, they're going to be stuck in the anger phase. Listen, it's not something we endorse, but me personally, I don't know about you, it's something I understand because, dude, the dating market is a shit show. It's gotten to a point where it's almost risky to even interact with women non-sexually. If you look at a cashier or a waitress in the wrong way, she can, hashtag also me. Like, if you interact with women on any level, you are essentially risking a lot of different things, not the least of which is your freedom. And so I understand why men want to sort of check out of the dating market. That being said, there is a way to navigate the dating market and to at least mitigate your risk or minimize your risks, et cetera, in such a way to where you might be a little bit more successful. It's not going to be easy. This is not a 3 ways to get women to do. No, women are not ready made for relationships anymore, right? Like back in the 50s and 60s, as a woman, all you had to be as a woman was not ugly, and you could have any man you wanted, right? As a man, the burden of performance is on us. All right, listen, we have to get a good education, get a good job. As long as men did those things, they were pretty much guaranteed, a wife and family. This is what made everybody happy. And the advent of first, second, third, and now 4th wave feminism. Women are no longer ready made for relationships. They're just not. And so it is on us. It is incumbent upon men who understand how to properly train women for a long-term relationship to embark on that journey. And guess what? That's not easy. To have to train the bad habits and behaviors out of women and cultivate her good ones, like, dude, it's a pain in the ass. I've been with Devin now dating and I've been with her for over 5 years, man. It was very difficult to get her dialed in to where she is now, and it's still difficult to keep her there. A lot of guys just say to themselves, you know what? I'm out. Like, I don't want to have to work this hard to be in a good relationship of consequence with a woman without potentially getting screwed over. I can't say that I blame them. However, for the men who are willing to put in the work, the men, one way or the other, whether you're looking for a long-term relationship or you just want to sleep with a bunch of beautiful women until the day you die, the Conference of Masculine Excellence will not focus on any of those things. We are going to focus on becoming the complete man. Yes, there will be notes of dating, relationships, et cetera, but if you become a complete man, if you're always increasing your value, you're going to have more opportunities with women as a natural byproduct of your lifestyle and mentality. So that's what we hope to accomplish there.
Yeah, and I like that the diversity of the guys you've got.
Oh yes,
speaking at this event is really. I mean, you got degenerates like me alongside some very respectable men. So that gives you an idea of like how broad the speaking panel is. It's quite. I'm quite impressed by it, man.
Yeah, man. Let me go ahead and pull it up now. So the speakers The speakers, dude, it is as diverse. We've got Coach Everett Overton. We've got yourself. We've got Phil Foster. I've been actually getting DMs from guys like, dude, like, how did you get Richard Cooper to come to the CME? No, Richard Cooper. No, Phil Foster is not Richard.
It's not Richard Cooper.
He looks like him, but it's not Richard Cooper. I keep getting all these messages. Myron Gaines, Anthony Migliorino, sort of a newcomer in this space. He's going to be talking about family and fatherhood. Hotep Jesus, who has made appearances on Fox News, Rogan, Coach Greg Adams, who everybody knows. Taylor Carnivore, another newcomer. He's going to be giving a rousing speech. He is essentially on the panel replaced Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels has just blown up. He's in the stratosphere. He just doesn't have the time for the CME.
Right.
And plus there are also a lot of, branding things that he wants to sort of stay away from. So I totally understand that. Joker from Better Bachelor, John Somnez, Aaron Clary, Captain Capitalism, Terrence Pop, Texas Dom, Zach Small. And then of course we will have, George Bruno is going to be the MC. He is George Bruno as class and gentlemanly personified. And so yeah, man, this is really an all-star lineup, man. Yeah. I have great relationships with everyone on the panel, and I'm glad that I was able to make this happen.
No, so am I. I mean, it's and you said before when you were saying when you flew guys out to your studio, it's always good. It's good to have two guys there in a room together, right?
Yeah.
I've made it a bit of a mission of mine to try and meet as many guys in this space as I can face to face, get real time with them. Because there's something about, I mean, I know you and I, we get along like this context, but I know that, but when you shake a man's hand and you look him in the eyes, it solidifies something. And it's a trust thing, and it solidifies you. Okay, I want to confirm this man is who I think he is. Right. And once you get that, and you don't need long, you just give me 5 minutes with a guy. Yeah. That's all I need. Give me 5 minutes with a guy. All right, this guy is who he says he is. He's the real deal.
And you want to know something? It's funny that you're saying that, because I think that was probably the purpose of me meeting with these guys face to face, that I didn't realize that the purpose was. Because anyone who's ever met me, and I've done other conventions and conferences, and guys, everybody that knows me will say, yeah, Donovan's the real deal. He is exactly the same off camera as he is on camera. His girl is on point no matter what. And so it's very important to build, just like you said, to build that trust, so that when I ask guys, hey, would you like to come out and speak at my conference? Subconsciously, they're thinking, yeah, when I went out there and I visited with Donovan and had dinner with him and his girl, yeah, he's the real fucking deal. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I think there was probably one or two speakers I asked who didn't do it, but it was really because of scheduling issues. They're either out of town or out of the country. Other than that, everyone I've asked has been like, yeah, let's do it 100%. And it's because I've cultivated those relationships, just like you said, which begins and ends with that handshake and that eye contact, man. It never takes long.
And I know that you've met the guys that I've met.
Yes.
Like you've met like Walter, you've met Myron, you've met a few guys, like Ajax, like a few guys that I've met. So I know there's if he's cool with him, then I'm cool with him. There's like an understanding of mutual respect there,
right?
Because you vet people through other people.
Yes,
but it's really and so this whole event is like a three kind of day event, right? It's like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event.
Yeah, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's like hotels and food and everything, and it's like everyone's going to be there immersed.
Yes,
in it all together with all of these guys, which is a really exciting thing. Like, I'm going to get just as much out of this as a speaker. Yes. That's what I'm excited about. I'm like, fuck yeah, I get to sit there and pick Cappy's brain and Foster's brain and your brain. I get to pick everyone's brain at the same damn time.
Dude, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And the reason, and just so everyone knows, man, with every ticket now, your hotel room is included. You get 2 nights at the hotel room is absolutely going to blow you away. Every single room for every attendee and speaker is a king suite. Yes, a king suite, not a wannabe king suite where they call it a suite, but it's really not. No, you have a sleeping area, and then off further on in the suite, there is a sunken living room. You have a living room. You've got a sectional couch that is also a pullout. You have a dedicated dining room table, a dedicated work desk. You've got 2 televisions in the room, Roman style marble bathroom. You've got the nice tub with the jets. You've got the stand up shower. it is, dude, it's going to blow you away. When guys check in, they're going to be like, wow, I got this included in my ticket. So all you got to do is get here. All you got to do is get here. I got your room squared away. I got breakfast for you on both days. And then I'm going to feed you dinner on Saturday night. It's going to be a 5-course meal. So all you really have to listen, if you can get here and buy yourself lunch on Saturday and Sunday, you're good to go, man. You're good to go.
And if you think about like, what would it like? Because a lot of the speakers on this list will do like one-on-one consultation calls. Like you're looking at least like $200 an hour for every one of these men's times. Like at least minimum. Yeah. Right. And some of them you can't even get their time. And it's like, but now you get them for 3 days. It's like, holy shit. You know, I mean, they're going to be they're presenting once, but they're there, you know?
Yes.
And it's like,
there's tremendous value. There's tremendous value in having the year.
The amount of the value proposition for like how much the tickets cost. Like when you add that plus the hotels, it's like, it's just a no brainer. It's like, holy shit.
Listen, people thought I was bullshitting when I told them I'm going to be taking a loss by doing this event. Like people thought I was bullshitting. Yeah. No, dude. I am covering all of the speakers' flights and hotel, and I am paying them a speaker's fee. Then I got to pay the venue. Then I got to pay my production guys, right? And so when people say, "Wow, $1,597, that's a lot of money," well, maybe it is, but when you consider what you get for $1,597, again, you're going to get fed while you're there. You don't have to worry about lodging. I got your hotel room. You're going to get access to all of these guys. Just like you said, I think $200 an hour is probably sort of I think that's a conservative number. I would put their value at maybe $350, maybe even $500 an hour, because the knowledge that every one of these guys brings is invaluable. So you get all of the tangible things, but then you get access to the speakers, and I think that's where the real value comes in, man.
No, exactly. Real quick, Facundo with the $50 super chat. Thank you very much. 50 rand super chat. Thank you very much, sir. It said that we don't find a quality woman. You have to create and build her. Do you guys teach that? Because values aren't taught at home anymore.
It is funny you should say that, because I have a 5-part, 7-hour audio course entitled How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up. It is quite literally the strategy and the technique I use to turn my woman into what she is today. Listen, man, Devin's no snowflake. She is certainly not a woman without her flaws. She's been a hoe. She slept around. You're just going to understand that the vast majority, if not all of the women that you encounter, they will have slept around. Okay. You're just going to have to get that in your mind. We got a lot of guys out here who say I'm going to wait for a virgin or a good girl. It's going to be a long wait. Listen, you can have whatever standards you want, but you can either deal with what you think you should be dealing with, or you can deal with what is, right? And so a lot of guys, go to my Instagram. They see that Devin cooks for me. She cleans. She makes sure she's attractive to me all the time. She's actually recently stepped up her game quite a bit here over the last couple of days. And guys are like, Donovan, you're a lucky man. You hit the jackpot. No, I didn't hit the jackpot. Devin hit the jackpot, because when I got her, I recognized that she had a few qualities that could benefit me, but there were some bad habits that I had to train out of her. And so we dated for 18 months before I finally said, okay, my work is complete. I think I'm ready to take this chick off the market. And by the way, I didn't ask her. She asked me. She's like, hey, we've been at this for 18 months. I'm not going anywhere, but what's up? Listen, I made sure she checked off all the boxes. Now, that doesn't mean that she was the complete woman at that point. Devin has to earn my commitment every single day, and she is well aware of the fact that she's got to bring it every day. But by the same token, I understood that, okay, the training has been, the training is complete. She is now the woman mentally, physically that I want her to be. Now, in my mind, I had to say, okay, can she keep this up? The answer to me was not an emphatic yes, but it was enough of a yes for me to say, okay, I'll go ahead and take the plunge with this chick. And listen, we've certainly had our ups and downs, just like everybody in every relationship, but I'm glad I made the decision, because she is as beneficial to me now financially as she's ever been. So it looks like I made the right call there, but it has nothing to do with what she did. It has everything to do with what I did, because if Devin and I were to part ways right now, guess what? She'd go right back to being the hoe she was when we first met. All of that red pill conditioning goes right out the window. So yes, while it's very important to understand that we have to train our women because there's no quality women anymore, you also have to maintain it. And I think that's the most important thing.
And I'll verify this. So I had a close friend. He's what? How old is he? He's like 31, and he just snagged. He's now married to her. Actually, he just snagged a girl, and she's like 18, and she'd only had like I think maybe 1 or 2 partners before she met him. So she was like, and she's like Christian, kind of like conservative background. Like she's a very traditional. Like she's about as ready-made as you're gonna get.
Snowflake, that's the unicorn, dude.
Like he found a fucking unicorn.
Yeah, girls like that don't exist. But when they do, look, she was a unicorn, but guess what? She got snatched up at 18 years old. If a girl's a unicorn, by the time she's 25, she's already married.
Exactly. Like if he, but well, I'll say 2 things. If he didn't snag her up now, she would be ruined.
Right.
By the time she was 25. Right. And here's why. Here's the funny thing. Her parents were like, oh, we don't want you running off with this guy, getting married and getting into a traditional relationship. Why don't you go off to college instead? I'm trying to turn her into a hoe. Like, the parents were actively like, go to college and hang out with your friends who are all like, because her girlfriends are like a bit hoey as well.
Of course.
And they're like, why don't you spend more time with this girl? She's a nice girl. She's a complete hoe.
Yes.
It's like, what are you doing? This man wants to like wife you up and give you a family and look after you for the rest of your life. No. Fuck that. Make her a hoe. What kind of a dumbass parent does that?
You know what? It's funny because what I think people realize what happens on college campuses, what they don't realize is that it ruins women. Yeah. 4-year colleges ruin women, period. Never mind the fact that girls are hoes in high school anyway. When they get to college, they're super hoes because there's dick all around them all the time. Yeah. And women are impulsive creatures. If there's temptation, they're going to succumb to temptation. But what we preach to women is that, hey, listen, if you go to college, you'll be able to get any kind of man you want and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Dude, college ruins women. If a girl is 18 years old, the best thing for her to do is to live with her parents until she's married. That's the only way. That is the only way that a woman is not going to be subjected to the ruination process that is college. Yeah. And I don't think parents are stupid for doing it because they're told to do that. But if they know their daughter is going to get fucked 6 ways from Sunday by, dozens of guys, why would they do that? It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I think maybe benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's an ignorance thing. Maybe they don't realize what college is like. But I'll going back to the point I was trying to make before was even this girl, this unicorn that my friend found, he still has to do the work to keep her in line.
That's right.
Not as much as you might have to with your girl,
right?
But he still has to. Every now and then, he's got to check her. He's got to keep her in line. He's still got to call her out on bullshit. He still has to do it, and she's a fucking unicorn. So it's like there's no way around it, guys. You have to do that.
You gotta be a man. You gotta be a fucking man about it. See, guys think this. They think if I can just get my hands on the 18-year-old virgin, I can just put it in cruise control. No, you still have to maintain that. You still have to be the head of household. You still have to check her. Mm-hmm. The difference is she's not going to offer up as much resistance as other women might, right? Like a woman like Devin, bless her heart, but every once in a while she will push back because, of course, she's done that whole sleeping around thing. This means that my frame has gotten to be rock solid. Maybe got to raise my voice and put her in check. But just because you get what you think is a quality woman does not mean that you get to not be a man. No, you still got to lead the relationship. You still have to make all the decisions. You still have to make sure her ass is in check. Real talk.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about, man. And it's once guys accept that, it's like you said before, the guys can go into that sort of that anger phase, right?
Yep.
Or once you could just accept reality and be like, all right, guess I'm doing the work. Like, but that's the thing, like I resisted it for a long time. I was sort of resistant to that idea. But then once I sort of accepted the fact that, all right, I've got to fire on all cylinders all the time. I've got to be working on my health. I've got to be working on my relationships. I've got to be working on my money at all time. Like, I have to work on everything all the time. There's no foot off the gas pedal. Once you accept that, it's actually not that hard. Like you're like, oh, this is life. Cool. I accept it, and I'm going to move on with it. It's the resistance that's the problem. When you resist that, it causes anxiety, resentment, anger.
Right.
that sort of stuff.
Once you and this is about establishing good, healthy habits. Once you have your standard operating procedure in place, at that point, it and I agree with you. The momentum carries itself because it really is who you are. So it like it's funny. Devin will test me. I don't have to think here, and I don't have to sit here and be like, Devin said this, so should I say no? Like it automatically comes to me the quote unquote right answer. This just comes with practice, and it comes with mental practice as well. Because again, we've been together for 5 years now. That's a long freaking time. I can't remember the last time I did anything for 5 years, but and we have very good chemistry together. We get along great. But she is a woman and she is going to test me. I don't resent her for that. This is just who she is. Like every once in a while, she's got to bite the gold to make sure Donovan Sharp really is still the Donovan Sharp that she fell for back in the day. But by the same token, once you establish those habits, once you establish that, okay, this is the way things are, it's maintenance. It really is maintenance. It's a lot harder to get to the top than it is to stay at the top. Yes, there are challenges, but as long as you're doing things consistently, you're never going to have to push. You're never going to have to push that hard because you're not starting at the bottom of the mountain anymore.
Yeah, and I think because obviously you sort of started your relationship off with the right kind of framework. Like
yes,
you came at it you're coming at it from the correct frame.
Yes,
and that's a lot of guys in this space have troubles or have had troubles in the past because they started the relationship wrong.
Yeah,
and they're trying to. It's very hard to recover from a shitty starting point with a shitty dynamic with you and her. If you get it wrong at the very beginning, and that's how the relationship tends to go on from there. If you fuck that up, it's so hard to. You can, but it's very hard to recuperate it, and you've got to be willing. You got to be willing to risk the relationship to do it.
That's right. See, a lot of guys, it's just like Rollo says, there are a lot of men that are awakened while married or awakened while in a cohabitating relationship. And while it's possible to possibly turn that around, your margin for the longer that relationship goes in a fucked up situation, the smaller your margin for error is. Because you got to be consistent with the changes all the time. Guys need to understand that. But the number one thing is, just like you said, you got to be willing to walk away from the relationship. You got to be willing to risk the relationship. Most guys are not willing to risk their relationship, which is the reason why most men, when they try to, be the different alpha red pill guy, they don't really do it needs to be done because they think to themselves, well, if I do this or if I say this, then she might walk out the door and I'm not ready for her. I'm not ready for her to leave yet. Now, when they're on the, in the chat and on videos, I'm ready to walk out anytime. Really? When push comes to shove, are you really, really ready to walk out? Listen, I love Devin very, very much. I really, really do. I care very deeply for her. Dude, we've been through a lot together. We've had an amazing life together. But make no mistake, it would not be easy for me to walk out on her. But I will if I have to. And we both know that. And so you have to really, really, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, all right, well, that's it. No, it would be a very, very difficult thing for me to do, but I would still do it. And this is what guys need to understand is you need to be able to do what's difficult. That means being ready, willing, and able to leave the relationship at a moment's notice if you have to. Absolutely.
That's people talk about this idea of having an abundance mentality.
Yeah.
And that's literally the manifestation of it.
Yeah.
You have to have that kind of you could say it's kind of cold-hearted, it's kind of icy.
But that's how you have to do it.
You have to be that way. It's unfortunate. And we've been, we've had multiple generations now that have been raised on this Disney Hallmark kind of picture of the world, which is absolute garbage.
Yes.
And it teaches guys to be soft and to be feminine. It teaches them not to be delicate with a woman's feelings.
Yes.
But you've got to flip all the shit on its head, man. You got to be ice cold.
You really do.
You got to remember that women like the downs as much as they like the ups in a relationship.
Yes, that's right.
They need that's a real big thing that most guys don't talk about. Women need the down.
Yes,
as well.
Yes. Listen, this is the perfect example. I'm gonna put a pin in that. But something you said is very, very important. The abundance mentality, right? We always talk about the abundance mindset. Listen, absolutely necessary. But it's easy to have the abundance mindset when you're banging 3 or 4 girls. Not to say that doesn't require skill or a good mentality, but check this out, Sterling. I'm in a long-term cohabitating relationship with my girlfriend. Dude, I'm not fucking other bitches. I don't have the abundance, but I do have the abundance mindset.
Yeah.
So you see, gentlemen, it's easy to have the abundance mindset when you're banging 3 or 4 different girls. It's not so easy to have that abundance mindset when there's only one woman. But that's what separates the men from the boys. Can you walk away from your relationship knowing that there's not a woman or two waiting for you on the other side? You got to be willing to walk away from the relationship and be by yourself. Again, it's easy to have that abundance mindset when you're banging 3, 4 girls. Try that shit when you are in a long-term cohabitating relationship. That's where the rubber really meets the road.
And it's hard, man. It's like it's really hard, and it's hard to cultivate that mindset if you've never been there before.
Yes, man, yeah.
As well.
It's tough, man. And I'll tell you this. I'll give you a perfect example of ups and downs. So a couple nights ago, I landed in Philly. I was in Phoenix. Of course, I had my medical scare. The very next day, I'm on a plane. My flight left at 1:30. I landed at 9:00. And so there were some issues. There were some issues that I need to get straight with Dev. Not a big deal. Just some relationship maintenance. I've been working a lot. I've been out of town a lot. And she's been out of town with me, and she is sort of slacking off in some departments. Perfectly normal. I'm not there to check her and this and that and the other. So I came home and I didn't do the, hey, I'm back from Phoenix. No. I sat down and I aired her out probably for a good 60 to 90 minutes. She sat there and she bawled her eyes out. And listen, this is what's necessary, dude. This was a conversation that needed to be had, right? So I had it out with her. She's crying. I'm angry. I go upstairs and take a shower, right? I come downstairs, dude. We probably had the best sex we've had since we went to Hawaii. There it is it's not like I said this, Sterling. I was okay. I got to make sure I give her the ups and the downs. No, this is just the natural ebb and flow of our relationship. I'm not you cannot be afraid to piss off your woman. You can't be afraid to make her cry. Yeah. At no time during that 60 to 90 minute rant that I had with her, at no time was I worried about her getting up and walking out. Number one, because she was fully equipped. Oh my God. She had on this little negligee. She had on heels. She had these barely there panties on. So she's not walking out at that point, right? Of course, I say that in jest, but I knew she wasn't going to leave the relationship. If she did, I would have had to deal with it, but I wasn't afraid of her doing that. And so that's what gave me the wherewithal to really let her know, hey, check this out. It's time to tighten the fuck up. It's time to batten down the fucking hatches. Shit's about to get real. We're about to have this conference, and I need you on your A game. She understood that she slacked off. I went upstairs, took a shower, because, dude, I was so heated, Sterling. I kid you. You can ask Devin. I was so heated. I sat there and aired her out. I sweated through my shirt. Like, my shirt was drenched. It's the craziest thing ever. Went upstairs, showered, had a glass of wine. Dude, I fucked her 3 times. 3 times I pounded her out. It's some of the best sex we've had in years. This is how this goes, man. This is how this goes.
And it's the crying thing.
Yes.
Is what gets most guys.
Yep.
It's like they'll get into arguments with the girl and they'll piss them off.
Right.
But when the waterworks turn on, that's when they crumble.
That's it.
And yes, that's where the kind of iciness comes in. The coldness comes in. Because like you're taught because when if anything ever brought a real man to tears, it's something serious. Like if my best friend died, or my dog died, or my father died, those are probably the 3 things that would actually bring me to tears.
I've cried in front of Devin one time, and it wasn't even in front of her. We were actually in bed, and it was the night before my father was going to have surgery. And I just broke down, man, because that's my dad. That's my father. But going back to that rant, you cannot be afraid to make your woman cry. And it takes years to develop this kind of frame. But every time Devin started to cry, I would just be, dude, fuck your fucking tears. I said, fucking, dude, I was just, and it had a lot to do with the fact that I was very angry because I kind of, I'm a high octane guy. I've got a temper problem. Everybody knows that. But dude, her tears do not faze me at all. It is not, trust me, it is not easy to sit there and keep your foot on the gas pedal when your woman is crying in front of you. But you must. You absolutely have to, because guess what, Sterling? If I kowtow and I crack or crumble, you want to know something? The sex we had an hour later probably wouldn't have been that intense. That's just kind of how that is. So you have to be it's not easy, trust me, but you gotta be impervious to a woman's tears. Trust me when I tell you, your woman will forgive you. If you're doing it right, if you make her cry, piss her off, whatever the case may be, she'll get over it if she really wants to be with you. That's all there is to it.
Dude, and that's, like I said before, like it a lot of the time. Okay, look, sometimes because men will react to like a woman's tears, as if it's something serious. Because like I said before, if a man was to cry, it would be something really serious.
Right.
Women will cry over like the fucking makeup. They'll cry over like wearing the same dress as another girl at a party.
The Wi-Fi. There was no Wi-Fi at Starbucks. They made my mochaccino latte wrong. They cry over the dumbest shit.
And they'll start crying over some dumb shit like that. So you have to take that into, you have to consider that. You're like, keep that in the back of your head, fellas. It's like, oh wait, they'll cry over fucking anything. Right. It's like, well, then what real weight does it have? It's not really serious. You can't take it. You can't take it as being serious.
This is one thing I always
way of framing it.
Listen, you're 100% right. In my book, free ebook, The 49 Laws of Sharp, which you can get at donovansharp.com/newsletter or /49 laws. I don't remember which law it is, and I want you guys to remember this always. The only time a woman's tears are genuine is when she is crying alone. Because if she has an audience of even one other person, those are crocodile tears. Women cry in front of people to get things done, to accomplish things, to manipulate, to circumvent punishment, things of that nature. So when she cried, dude, women manipulate their children with their tears. They manipulate their bosses, their friends, their relatives, their coworkers. Doesn't matter. If a woman cries and she has an audience of even one person, those are fake fucking tears. If she is in her house and she doesn't think anybody is watching her or listening to her, when she cries, and sometimes women will cry alone, but they know that there are people within earshot of her. Crocodile tears. The only time a woman's tears are genuine is when she is crying alone. That's the only time.
That is a really good frame to come from. I like that. I'm going to steal that. That is really good.
Yes. Listen, man, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. This is why you have to be impervious to a woman's tears. Now, was Devin really hurt when I aired her up? Yeah, probably. But again, not to say that those were crocodile tears, but it probably wasn't as big a deal as she was trying to make me believe it was. So,
and that's the thing, because women will, and if you ever get a woman to be like honest on camera when you're talking to her, like women will say things like, "Oh, if I get pulled over by the cops, I'll cry to try and get my way out of a ticket." So they will deliberately cry, like use tears to manipulate.
Cry on cue, dude. Women can cry on cue. Are you kidding me? This is and it's not that makes them evil. This is just what they have to do to. Well, it used to be what they have to do to survive. Yes. Women have only so many skill sets to survive. This is why they're more perceptive than we are. This is why there are more female actresses than male actors, because most females can cry on cue. Most men can't cry on cue. We don't need to. It's fight or flight for us.
And I like that you use the word. I do like that you use the word manipulate, because I've been using that word a lot lately.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of rubs people up the wrong way sometimes.
Yeah.
But I have to use that word. I have to use that word so I get comfortable with it.
Yes.
And we've come across this sort of idea recently that women want a guy who can out-woman them.
Yes.
In the sense that, like, you have to be able to out-manipulate a manipulator.
Right. That's 100% right, dude.
Because I had this other, like, sort of thought the other day, which is, because the way, for thousands of years, for eons, the way that men got what they wanted out of the world was through violence and force, right?
Right.
But in our modern world, we can't do that. There's laws and there's police and stuff. I can't walk up to some guy and punch him and take his shit.
Right.
Right. For the most part.
I mean, you could. It's just I'd
go to jail.
Yeah.
So
right.
men's primary tool of getting what they want in the world has really been taken away from us, but women's primary tool hasn't, and that is manipulation. That's how they. That's how they get any. That's how they've always gotten what they want. That's how they've gotten a man to protect them. That's how they've gotten resources from men and whatever, and throughout eternity. So now the only tool men have left is women's tool, which is manipulation. So if a guy can learn to be a better manipulator than a woman, then that's what women are selecting for.
Yes.
They're actively selecting for guys who can out manipulate them, and that is it's a dark thing to think about, but it's accurate.
It's accurate, but it's necessary. And I'll give you a perfect example of quote manipulation. Let's say that I'm downstairs watching TV, and Devin walks downstairs wearing nothing but heels and a smile, right? Well, guess what? I'm going to pound her brains out, right? Then after I pound her brains out, she's going to go back upstairs. She's going to get cleaned up, whatever. Now, at that point, I'm probably going to treat her a little bit better because she just handled her business. Hey, you know what, babe? You don't have to cook tonight. Listen, put on your Sunday best. We're going to go out and have dinner. Now, was this Devin's ulterior motive? Probably, but this is it's a value exchange. Yeah. I give you my resources, you give me exclusive access to your body, and I totally agree with you, because a woman dressing up in such a way that makes her man want to fuck her is exactly like a man saying, "Hey, honey, we're going to take a beach trip over the weekend." Both parties are happy. Where the real manipulation comes in is where you expect to get the benefit without you having to do anything. And God, now here's the crux of the dating situation. Most women out here are trying to get as much as they can from guys without putting out. Then we have guys who are trying to get as much sex as they can from a woman without having come up off of their resources. Yeah. And that's the crux of the situation. Women want to get all the benefits of being in a relationship without having to put out. Men want all the pussy without actually having to be in a relationship, and that's really where we're at a crossroads, man.
Yeah, and I have to have a little bit of sympathy, if I'm being honest. Sure. Sort of like, as hard as it is for guys right now, and this is partly what stops me from kind of initially kind of put me on the right path of not staying in that sort of angry, bitter phase, was realizing that how much women have been lied to and how it fucks them over in the long term, right? Perfect example, right? Here in Miami, there's a lot of baddies, right? A lot of baddies, like big titty, big booty, fake lip.
Dude, there are fucking bad bitches all over Miami. Oh my God, dude. Listen, Miami is Vegas with humidity. That's really it. Incredible.
It's very accurate, yeah.
Yes.
Especially the neighborhood I'm in, I can walk around and
Jesus Christ,
I can as far as the eye can see.
They're fucking everywhere, man.
But here's the thing: it's like these women are actively selecting for like the top guys out here, right? They're looking for the dudes with the Lambos. They're looking for the rappers. They're looking for the Instagram influencers. They're looking for whatever, like the drug dealers, whatever, right?
Right, all of them.
Right, but they're fucking all of them.
That's
and
right.
They think here's the crux. Here's the big ticket. They think because they had sex with a guy that high value, that when they're ready to settle down, they're going to be able to lock down a guy like that.
That's right.
True. It's not true.
No, listen, and this is one of the main issues with women. Women are incorrectly conflating sexual market value with relationship market value. This is where they go wrong. Just because a guy wants to fuck you does not mean he wants to commit to you. These girls don't realize this until, of course, they're 31 and they decide to settle down and go after these guys. They're like, well, wait a minute. Guys like this were smashing me 5 and 6 years ago. Why doesn't he want to commit to me now? Well, because you smashed him 60 minutes after you met him, right? He already knew what time it was when he smashed you. So listen, he'll certainly smash you, right? Even at 31, he'll smash you. He's not going to commit to you. Girls need to understand there is a distinct difference between sexual market value and relationship market value. Yeah. Sexual market value will get you more attention from more men than you ever thought possible. Yep. A high relationship market value will get you attention from high value men. That attention is not going to be as much as sexual market value, but you'll get the right attention from the right men.
Yeah, and it's there's so much there that they just get wrong, and it's that I actually don't have a problem with a girl. Like if a girl, like here's my mental framework, right? If a girl sleeps with me straight away, my thought is this woman is intelligent. That's my default thought because she picked the right fucking guy.
Sure, of course.
So
Right.
she's not wasting my fucking time.
Right.
That I actually like that. If a girl sleeps with me straight away, okay.
Okay.
If she makes me wait, then I'm like, I'm not gonna fuck. Like, you're wasting my fucking time. If I can tell that she's the same, that she might fuck, she's the kind of girl who would fuck somebody else instantly.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm not.
But let me ask you this question. Here's the thing: you're not actively looking for a long-term relationship right now, are you?
Yeah, kind of. I'm looking. If I find a girl I can take seriously, I will lock the bitch down. But I'm cheating on her. Like, I'm fucking around.
Well,
like,
I was going to say there's no such thing as male cheating, and we can get into that later.
Exactly.
But the reason why you'll give the girl who sleeps with you on the very first night a little more consideration than a girl who makes you wait is because you're not 100% trying to be in a long-term relationship. And so, and this is what I tell girls all the time, right? If you really want a guy to respect you, you have to wait for sex. Well, Donovan, what if he ghosts me if I make him wait? Then he wasn't in it for a long-term relationship anyway. That's not really something. And listen, you made it clear to me that that's not something you want. That's not something you want long-term anyway. So we as men, we dictate the relationship market, right? Yep. Women are the gatekeepers to sex. We're the gatekeepers to relationships. If I'm seeing a girl and I'm not taking her seriously, I'm not going to lead her down the rabbit hole. But if I am actively looking for a girlfriend, yeah, I'm going to give more consideration to the girl who makes me wait, only because I'm looking for a relationship. Hang on a second. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I've got a call with my production manager. Let's wrap this up in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, perfect.
Absolutely.
One thing I was going to add to that is that I think a lot of women aren't even aware of, they don't even know what things guys are looking for in a long-term partner. Yes. They don't even know what to offer to lock a guy down. They think it's all about the sex. Like, if you ask most girls today, like, what do you bring to a relationship? Their first, like, 5 responses are going to be things to do with sex.
Yes, right.
You know, and they're like, no, honey, that's not what's going to keep me around. Like, because I'm going to get bored.
Not only that, we can get sex,
I'm going to get bored of it.
Sex from any woman. We can get sex from every woman. What can you do for me that most women can't? Every woman can suck my dick. Every woman can get butt fucked by me. What is the difference between you and other women? That's the $1 million question.
Exactly.
And it's always crickets.
And if I'm being honest, like, when we're having sex, I'm doing the work, not you.
Right, exactly. Listen, guys always like to say, oh my God, she's so good in bed. Listen, outside of enthusiasm and maybe blowjob proficiency, there's no real skill in getting fucked. Just lay there or stand there and get pounded into oblivion. That's really all there is to it. Being good at sex, being a woman who is good in the bedroom is simply a woman who is willing to get fucked. That's it.
And willing to listen to what you want, like listen, like do it, like especially when it comes to BJs, that's especially the case. Like, most girls can't give a BJ, so it's like, can she listen to your feedback of like what to do? Pay attention. That's a pretty big key, but that's also a good indicator of like, okay, is she like going to follow your lead in the relationship long term?
Yeah, that's right.
But you know, if you say to women like, oh, maybe you should like, you know, help him out around the house, cook for him, clean for him, like make his life easy, be his. Who says it? I can't remember. Was it Kevin Samuels who said like, be his peace?
Yeah, man.
Was the general idea? It's like, but they don't understand. They can't. There's such a resistance to that because they've been brainwashed with like feminism, and it's like, oh, it's patriarchy, it's misogyny. If I do anything nice for a guy, purely to be nice, purely for him,
purely for his pleasure. Yeah, it's almost like a scar. Wait a minute, you gave him a blowjob because he likes them? What is wrong with you? Are you freaking kidding me? Listen, man, this was part of what I had to have my come to Jesus conversation with Devin. She had become a source of stress in my life. I have many sources of stress right now. That's why my blood pressure's out of control. I'm dealing with people doxing me and going after my family. I'm dealing with caterers. I'm dealing with the venue. I'm dealing with all kinds of stuff. Devin needs to be the one area of my life where I can relax. And it's not that she was being a bitch, but she wasn't being as stress-free as I needed her to be. And so that clearly has changed over the last couple of days. Had a little bit of a hiccup last night, but we'll see if what I did with what I said to her sort of put her back in her place. Again, these are all normal relationship ups and downs. These things, no relationship is going to run smoothly, but you absolutely positively have to be consistent. If your woman steps out of line even a little bit, you got to correct her, because if she gets away with, again, give her an inch, she'll take a mile, man. If you let her get away with one thing, she'll push the boundaries, not because she's a bitch, but it's because she's a woman. You got to be able to check her every single time, man.
That's absolutely right, man. Well, look, let's maybe we'll wrap up here, and then maybe you can give guys a bit give us like a 1-minute pitch of the Conference for Masculine Excellence, which I'm going to be at. So if anyone watching, like, I'm going to be there in person all weekend. You could, like, I'm giving a presentation on bedroom performance, how to avoid. I'm going to cover the 4 main problems that guys face in the bedroom, which is premature ejaculation, delayed ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, and performance anxiety. Those are all 4 completely different things, and I'm going to cover that in my presentation and all the tools you can use to overcome that. So you get that with my presentation. And obviously there's a bunch of other fantastic speakers at this event.
Absolutely.
But if anyone who's watching this wants to actually get some FaceTime with me, I'm there the whole time. I'm happy to help any guy who comes up to me with a question. I'm happy to answer anything while I'm there, because you paid to be there and you paid for my time. So that's what I'm offering when I'm there. But Go on, Donovan. Give us a bit more of a pitch here.
Listen, I can't wait to see your presentation, and I'll give you guys a personal story before we close this thing out here. I'm always extremely transparent with my audience, and over the last few months, dude, my performance in the bedroom, it sucked. I'd last 45 seconds a minute. When Devin and I first met, dude, I used to be able to pound her out 15, 20 minutes straight. We were having sex 2-3 times a day. Well, things change. I'm a little bit older. My circumstances change. There's a lot more. There's a lot more going on. Because of that, my performance absolutely tanked. And I'd make fun of myself, be like, all right, Devin is going to get, she's going to get 1 minute and 37 seconds of absolute ecstasy tonight. And listen, people thought that I'm just, no, I'm not joking. It wasn't performance anxiety. It was just, I just wasn't dialed in. I had a lot more going on. And so I'm not going to say what cured it, because I'm hoping to get like a sponsorship deal from this company that has absolutely positively changed my sex life. But it all culminated that night I came home, and it's the weirdest thing. All it was a simple chemical change, was a certain pill that I had to take. And no, it's not Viagra. And dude, I was able to pound her senseless 3 times. It's like I turned back the clock. And so my thing was premature ejaculation. There is no more problem with premature ejaculation anymore. At least the last couple of times we've had sex, there has been no premature ejaculation. Devin will attest to that. And so I'm very, very glad that has been taken care of. So anyway, guys, what this really comes down to, with the Conference of Masculine Excellence, what it aims to do is it aims to help you to become the complete man. We're going to talk about diet and nutrition. We're going to talk about family and fatherhood. Stirling, of course, is going to talk about he's going to talk about performance in the bedroom, performance anxiety. We're going to talk about getting your money in order. Aaron Clary, we're going to talk about how to be economically smart. Anything and everything. We're gonna talk about how dressing well gets you more opportunities with more people than you ever thought possible. We are going to be talking about everything that encompasses masculinity. This is not going to be game. This is not going to be pickup. No, this conference is for men who are looking to improve their lives in every way, shape, or form. And like we said, man, it is an all-inclusive ticket. It's $15.97. As a matter of fact, if you purchase through Stirling Cooper's link and use the promo code Scooper, you get 20% off. So promo code Scooper for 20% off. You'll be helping out Stirling, and you'll be at the conference. You're going to get 2 nights. You're going to get 2 nights. Your hotel room is going to be paid. Your ticket includes 2 nights. King Suite, guys. You're going to get a King Suite for 2 nights. You're going to get access to the speakers. You get access to the venue. The venue that it's going to be at is absolutely spectacular. There are 30 restaurants in the venue, all kinds of shopping. There's a 3-story mall. It is absolutely spectacular. You get access to all of the speakers. You get to pick our brains. You get to go to all the speeches. This is going to be a seismic watershed moment in this community. And I think that this is going to be the preeminent quote unquote red pill event from here on out. If you guys want to be a part of history, man, go to masculineexcellence.com/Stirling. Use promo code Scooper to get 20% off of your ticket. You get your hotel room, you get your meals, you get all that good stuff. And we hope to see you guys in Vegas, man.
Yep. Looking forward to it, guys. So thank you once again for being here today, Donovan. Much appreciated.
Absolutely, man.
Always good chatting with you, man. And I'll see you in Vegas.
Yeah, see you in Vegas. Listen, send me a copy of this because I want to post this on my channel. I think this is
absolutely, man.
All right, guys. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. You take care.